Now, to tell you a bit about divergent thinking, so this is the third workshop we've done. We are a social enterprise that supports different ways of communicating. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I found the school system sucked. They teach you in a very A to B way. And with that kind of way, if you do not match the way that they teach you, you feel stupid and dumb. When actually, some of the most successful people who have been like billionaires, who have like created Nobel Prize winners, have been people who have decided to come at problems from a different angle. So we do sessions like filmmaking, public speaking, we do animation, we do networking, leadership, but we try to do it from a bit of a different angle to show that there's more than one way to do something. Now, without further delay, I would like to introduce you to Charles. Charles is the founder and CEO of the Personal Development Corporate. It's a really long name, Charles. I'll let you say it, but he runs a leadership company and a very successful one at that. He regularly delivers to over 200 people at a time, leaders, CEOs, corporates. So the fact that he's doing this today for free is amazing, and we're really grateful. So, Charles, over to you.
Thank you so much, Nat. I appreciate you, and good afternoon to everyone. Some of you watching us, probably it's morning at your time zone. So good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. I will start by putting my slide on the screen. So yeah, you can see my slide, thumbs up. Great, so my name is Charles Msilanga. I am founder and CEO of an organization called Personal and Corporate Development Company. It's based in Mombasa, Kenya. And my work or my purpose in life is to help individuals become great agents of influence and significance, and to discover their purpose in life through communication, coaching, and mentorship. And that is why I am doing this course. And special thanks to Nat for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to speak and to teach you guys. So are you ready? Cool. So a little bit background about me. So as Nat stated, I started this organization called Personal and Corporate Development Company. The reason as to why we named it Personal and Corporate Development Company is because we want to develop people at individual levels and also corporates at company level. So that is why it's called Personal and Corporate Development Company. And one of the main things we do is to help individuals become excellent in communication and public speaking at large. And I'm also a youth representative or a youth director at Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mombasa chapter. And I'm part of the leaders who run a youth-led organization called Youth Empowerment Program Initiative, which we provide economic opportunities to young people in the coastal region of Kenya. And I am an alumni of Young African Leaders Initiative and alumni of Core Scholars Program in Panchgani, India, and also Watson Institute, where I met my good friend Nat, who we are currently doing this amazing work together. So this is what we will learn today. I've seen a lot of comments. There are some of you who know about public speaking, have had an experience of public speaking before, and there are some of us who haven't even had an experience of public speaking, or we are fearing public speaking. But before I start, I want to say this. I want you to remember three things as we go through these sessions, okay? Three important things. Number one, I won't take much of your time. Number two, I won't be boring. Number three, do not forget number 1 and 2. All right? Great. So what we will cover today is, number one, we will cover principles of public speaking. As human beings, we know that most of the things that operate effectively and efficiently in life have got principles. And we have to learn and understand what are the principles of public speaking. That principles or these principles are going to guide us very well in terms of growing and developing in this act of public speaking. We are also going to learn how to create a good first impression when you're delivering a speech. Okay? Everything that comes to a human being with a good first impression has the power to have a long-lasting expression to them. And the same way, the person who delivers a speech, whoever that person is, if they are able to create a very good first impression to the audience, they will create a heart connection and a heart response with the audience, and the audience will be keen to like them as they listen to them. And that's what every one of us need to have. We are also going to learn about personalities in public speaking. Different people have got different personalities. And right now, I don't want us to learn this skill and try to go out there and make yourself a Barack Obama or a Michelle Obama or a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or whoever it is you know as a great orator. We want to make each and every one of you a great speaker in your own capacities, because you have something special within you that makes you to be unique than anyone else, and you can be considered as a benchmark even when people are speaking about great speakers and great communicators. So we will learn about the personality aspect. And then we're also going to learn about confidence. You see, one of the biggest things that I have learned through my many years of coaching people in public speaking is that confidence is a big factor in terms of people growing and developing in this art of public speaking. So I'm going to teach you about minds of confidence. How are we going to be able to tap the confidence that is within us that most of us do not even know that it is within us? So I'm going to help you understand some of the things we should do or learn so that we can be able to get to the confidence level that every one of us has got, all right? And then I'm also going to teach you about preparation for a public speaking engagement. You see, preparation is key. The one who prepares the most during practices shines the most during competition. Any footballer who prepares the most in practice shines a lot during a match. And anyone who prepares for something usually shines a lot when that thing is happening. And this preparation aspect is very key because a lot of us usually tend to celebrate things which most of us can see, yet we do not realize that a lot of things are happening or being prepared when no one is seeing or watching. So I'm going to teach you about that as well, all right? Are we ready? I'm so excited. Are we ready? Can I get a thumbs up, guys? Cool. Great. Principles of public speaking. First of all, before we go to the principles of public speaking, I want to let you know that public speaking is an art. It's an art, just like drawing, just like playing a music instrument. Public speaking is an art. And in this art, the more you perfect it, the more you prepare it, the more you practice on it, the better you become. If this skill will be something that you will learn today and become the best tomorrow, then it is something that probably I won't be into existence. And the other thing I want you to understand is that there is no injection to public speaking. If there was an injection to public speaking, I would have shipped it all to you and you would have become great speakers. The only way for you to become a great speaker is by you perfecting this wonderful art. And anyone who can speak can communicate fluently in the public area. And anyone who is able to say or pronounce words can be able to deliver speeches effectively. And when we go to the principles of public speaking, I want you to know that there are three principles of public speaking. There are three principles of public speaking. And these three principles are based from the Greek words, which are ethos, pathos, and logos. Some of you maybe have not yet heard this particular word, but the first principle is ethos, the second principle is pathos, the third principle is ethos. Now let's go to the meaning. Logos. So when we talk about logos, what we mean is that we want to ensure that every time we deliver communication, we deliver public speaking engagement, or we deliver a speech, we want to ensure that we deliver it with what is called language of logic, or you have to appeal to logic. you have to speak to an audience whereby it means to convince an audience by use of reason or logic. Every time you speak, ensure you speak things that make sense. Ensure you speak things that can inspire. Ensure you speak things that someone can invest their time to listen to you. So logos is a very important aspect, because logos leads to the aspect of preparation, because you cannot speak things of logic if you do not prepare yourself to deliver things of logic. And logos is a very, very important principle of public speaking. And it is a principle that makes us to understand that every time we go to an audience, the audience wants logic reasons from us. The audience wants to have logic from us. So it's something that we need to invest in big time. Logos, it's a very, very important principle. The second principle is ethos. Ethos is called the appeal to ethics, all right? Every time you speak, ensure you speak things that you have authority or credibility to speak about. Just because you have an opportunity to speak does not mean you should speak. Every platform that comes along your way for you to speak is a platform where proposes you to speak in things that you have authority on. That means that not every speaking engagement is for you to speak, because everything that you have an opportunity to speak should come based on the things that you have prepared or the things you have authority on. And that means you should speak things that you have experience on. You should speak things that you have learned on. You should speak things that you have encountered before. And you should speak things that you have a personal connection or know someone who has a personal connection directly, either through experience, a story of something you read. So every time you speak, ensure you speak with authority. A lot of people lack confidence in public speaking because they have not invested a lot in developing or nurturing the authority that they have to speak on a particular subject or a particular matter. So the moment you have authority to speak in any particular speaking engagement, you will be able to have the automatic confidence within you because the authority is with you. So it's very important that as we develop ourselves in this skill of public speaking, we need to learn and understand that every time we speak, we need to speak with authority because we have the authority to speak about the particular aspect or the particular manner. All right? The other principle of public speaking is called pathos. And pathos means language for emotional appeal. It means to persuade an audience by appealing to their emotions. That means that every time you speak with a sense or speak with an aim to influence your audience through capturing their attention by getting to their heart. Heart response is something that is going to influence your audience to always stay attentive to listening to you. So every time you deliver a presentation or you speak, ensure that you have what is called pathos, and that is language for emotional appeal. And language for emotional appeal has a very, very significant aspect when you are communicating, because imagine if you're speaking with no passion, all right? So the source of language for emotional appeal means speaking with passion. Imagine if I was speaking to you in this particular webinar and I was, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have language for emotional appeal. You know, there is no passion, and that will make you guys to feel a lot of disconnect, and you'll be bored because I will be, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have language for emotional appeal. You need to become great communicators and speakers. You know, that disconnection doesn't work. But you see, the way I'm doing it right now, I'm so passionate about what I'm speaking. I'm so passionate about what I'm saying to an extent that whoever is listening to me can be able to feel the passion that is in me because I'm delivering this particular speech or this particular presentation. And that passion brings a lot of heart response and heart connection with your audience so that you can be able to speak with ease and fluency anytime you get an opportunity to speak. So I have a question, guys. Which one do you think is the most important principle of all? You can send your response via the chat. I'll be able to see them. I just need to understand. Which one do you think is the most important of all? Just type your response on the chat box and I'll be able to see. Which among the three principles come out as the most important?
Nice. We've got a lot of pathos, ethos. So Charles, can you just do a quick recap?
Great.
Oh yeah.
So logos, principle number one is logos, which is known as logic, whereby you want to speak things that will make sense. You want to speak things that will be of logic to the audience. The audience needs to understand what you're talking about. The second principle is called ethos. That means you have to speak things that are in line with your audience in terms of authority and ethics. You need to persuade your audience by having the aspect of credibility, where you have either read about what you're talking about, saw something that is related to what you're talking about, connected with someone who has given you that experience of what you're talking about. By all means, speak things that you have a connection with before. And then the last principle is called pathos, and that is called language for emotional appeal. Every time you speak, ensure you speak with passion. Ensure you speak to a way where your audience will feel that you're passionate about your topic. And this creates a lot of heart connection and heart response. And this will make you have a connection with the audience. So these are principles that anytime you go to speak, you need to always abide with them, and you need to always create a sense of connection, and they will gear to you having a lot of confidence as you're speaking, and it will make you an authentic and effective speaker. All right? So I need to get the answers. Nat, you can see the answers.
To be fair, it's very mixed, but I think pathos was the most popular one, but it really depends. Like Annie said, it depends on the audience. I think all three, but perhaps Thanos needs to. You need the passion to be able to hook them in. Someone said ethos for sure. You need to have credibility in order to give respect. Another one says, I wish it was logo. Sorry, guys, my pronunciation is terrible. But all the evidence is that people simply reject facts and that arguments don't feel true to them. Humans like to think of themselves as logical and rational, but we are emotional beings. That's really interesting.
Okay, then it's okay that you've given me that good answers, but guys, this is the answer here. All of them are important. All of them are important. All of them are important. You see, in Africa, we cook with 3 stones, all right? There is a way you cook with 3 stones and you put the dish that you will use to cook. If one stone is not there, then that means you cannot cook because there will be no balance. So it's very, very important that we have the 3 principles abiding by us and working with them. So all these principles are very, very important, and always ensure that we have these principles with us every time. Let's invest in them equally because the 3 principles are very, very important. Okay? Great. So I want us to go to the aspect of creating a good first impression in your speech. And a good first impression here, what I mean is when you are starting to deliver your speech. And I'll tell you this, guys, your speech does not start the moment you wake up from the seat and go in front of an audience or the podium to speak. Your speech starts from how you wake up from your seat to the extent on how you go to that podium or to that stage. Not this, the speech doesn't start the moment you speak your first word. It starts from how you leave your seat to how you will walk to start your first words. and how you leave your seat. If you leave your seat with an energetic manner, a smile, zeal, passion, oomph, and energy, that already is a good first impression. That creates an impression to your audience where you are excited to deliver what you're doing. But if you leave your seat with a sense of lack of passion and you don't walk majestically with energy, your audience will have a little bit of impression about you even before you start speaking the first words. So always remember that the speech, or you start your speech from the moment you stop or you wake up from your seat to go to the podium or to the stage and start speaking. That is the way you start your speech. And you need to go there with energy and zeal and oomph. However, with this particular segment here, I want you to learn how to create a good first impression based on the first paragraph you will deliver, or the first words you will say, or the first things that will come out of that presentation. And I want to give you 5 key things that will really help you when you start your speech. Before you even go to your content, these 5 things will help you big time. And here they are. Creating a good first impression in your speech has the following things that you need to include. Anytime you go to speak, start your speech with the words. Number 1, you can start your speech with a story. Start your speech with a story. You see, let me tell you something. Naturally, human beings love listening to stories. Human beings love hearing stories. And every time you go and start your speech with a story, you have something called heart response and heart connection. And your audience will like that thing that you're saying, because if that story is connected to the topic, you will always have an easy way relating the topic to the story, because your audience always wants to get things simplified, because simplicity breeds excellence. Let me repeat that. Simplicity breeds excellence. And every time you deliver your speech with an introduction being a story, automatically you connect with your audience, because naturally as human beings, we love listening to stories. And when you're standing in front of an audience, you have the power and you're the person in authority. And every time you deliver a story, people will always listen to the story, because you are the one who is shining at that particular moment. And that story, make sure it is an interesting one, because people will always have an impression that you are an interesting person based on what they got about you in the first session. So a story plays a big role when you are going to deliver a speech. The second thing you want to do, you need to learn how to deliver jokes. You need to learn how to deliver jokes, all right? Make sure that anytime you go to speak, there is a sense of a joke that you can try to give to your audience, all right? You can go there and say, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember 3 things. Number 1, I won't take much of your time. Number 2, I won't be boring. Number 3, do not forget number 1 and 2. So that's a statement, but it's a joke at the same time. That automatically creates a sense of connection with your audience, and this goes a very long way as far as them connecting with you is concerned. And this makes you to be likable. This makes you and your audience to have a sense of connection from the heart, because they will automatically feel connected with you and they will like you. So it's very, very key and very, very important that you learn this particular aspect of delivering stories and delivering jokes when you are having a good presentation and want to have a good first impression. Very, very key. The third thing is that you need to learn how to deliver statistics and facts, all right? Most of the times, statistics and facts make people to be in an awe. They make people to be having the aspect of, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. So every time you deliver a statistics or a fact, makes the audience think about that thing you say. For example, I'll say this statistics. This is based on my country, Kenya. I'll say it this way. By the year 2016, the rate of unemployment in the coastal region of Kenya was at 51%. That is more than double the national rate of 21%. So when you listen to that, automatically you are like, oh, 51%, 21%. Okay, so this person knows their stuff. This person has researched what they want to say. And this person is a person that I can invest my time to listen to them. So it's very, very important that you learn statistics, you learn facts, and make sure the statistics and the facts that you will be communicating or saying will be in line or connected or have a relationship with the topic that you will be delivering at that particular time. That will help you have a connection at the same time in transitioning between that statistics and that fact to the content of your presentation or the content of your speech. So it's very important that we learn some of the statistics and some of the facts where we will be able to engage our audience in the first session of our speech or our presentation, because that goes a long way. The fourth thing that you can use to start your speech is a quote. Quotes make you to shine. Quotes make you to be likable. When people listen to you and you're able to deliver quotes, they will automatically fall in likeness with you and they will like you. So it's very, very important that we learn the aspects of quotes. Imagine if I go to deliver a speech and I say, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Charles Msilanga, and in my life, I profess the philosophies of three people. That of Jesus Christ, who said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That of Dr. Michael Mingrin, who said, blessed are the ones who are flexible, for they shall never bend out of shape. And that of Dr. Dale Carnegie, who said, blessed are the ones who deliver short speeches, for they shall be invited again to speak. That's a quote. Imagine delivering your speech using that. Before you even go to the next stage of your speech, people will give you a round of applause for delivering such an outstanding quote. All right? You can use a quote to make people, you can use a quote to make people understand a connection between some of the things that you want to say. For example, in the 1960s, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stated that I have a dream that one day my three little children will not be judged by the color of their skins, but rather by the content of their character. The same way today, I have to say that I have a dream that one day this world will be able to live without considering each other based on their differences, but based on their similarities. And we can use our similarities to eliminate our differences. See, you're connecting quotes of different people to bring your own connection based on a particular topic that you have been given to speak. So this is very, very important for us to learn that quotes play a big role in terms of making us shine and connect with our audience. The last thing you want to connect with your speech based on creating a good first impression every time you speak is the aspect of questions. You see, every time you go to speak, you can ask the audience a question. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of us felt like the world is coming to an end when COVID-19 hit us? You know, everyone will raise their hands, right? And that happens, when that happens, what that means is that the audience is attentive. The audience wants to know and to listen to you. The audience has to ask themselves a question, okay, so you have said something that we are directly connected with, and I have raised my hands. What is it that you have to say? So this is very important, the aspect of asking questions. So these 5 things play a very big role when we are creating a good first impression. And there is nothing as joyous as a speaker when you speak and you can see and feel your audience responding. That elevates your confidence to the next level. And some of the things you can do to make sure your audience responds is by creating a good first impression. And one of the ways, or 5 of the ways of creating a good first impression is these 5 tips that I've given to you this afternoon. Are we together, guys? Can I get a thumbs up if this session is helpful to you? Great. I want us to go to the other aspect of personalities in public speaking. You see, different people speak different ways. See, I'm speaking this way. Someone else who probably is an introvert can be speaking a bit slower and calmer, and that doesn't mean they are not effective speakers. So what I want to show you is that different people have got different personalities, and these personalities affect their communication, all right? And so there are 4 types of personalities, all right? There are 4 types of personalities. The first type of personality is called the powerful choleric. The powerful choleric, these are the people who are born natural leaders. Most of the time they can be categorized as the aggressive ones. These are the people who, in a classroom setup, they can cause the whole class to go to a demonstration. They will say, guys, let's go out and riot, and the whole people will follow them, all right? This is called powerful choleric. They have a different way of communicating. They have a different way of speaking, okay? We have another category, which is called the popular sanguine. The popular sanguine, these are types of personalities where people have a different way of communicating, and these popular sanguine are motivated and energized based on the things that are excitable and are exciting. You will meet a popular sanguine today and tell them, hey guys, let's go out tonight. They didn't have a plan to go out on that night, but because it's something to do with fun and joy, they will go and they will follow you. And sometimes these people don't even have the means to go there. They didn't even have the fare or the transport to go there. But because it's something to do with fun, they say other things, I will handle them when we cross the bridge. So they have a different way of communicating. Most of the times, popular sanguines are inspired. They're most inspired people. In a party, the popular sanguine will make the party very lit. If the popular sanguine is not present in a party, most of the time the party will be boring because they're the loudest, they're the ones who make the party to be joyous, all right? We have the other aspect called the perfect melancholy. The perfect melancholy, these are the types or the type of people where they are called the perfectionists. You will meet a melancholy and they will always be analytical about things. They always want things to be in order. They always want things to have a certain process or procedure to be followed, and they don't want things to be in a shortcut. They are introverted people, and most of the time, if you live with a perfect melancholy in their house, they like to spread the toothpaste from the end and not from the middle. If you're a perfect melancholy, they spread the toothpaste from the end and not from the middle. Most of you can relate with that right now. So this is a perfectionist. We have another category of people which is called the popular phlegmatic. It's not popular phlegmatic, but peaceful phlegmatic. The phlegmatics, these are the very kind people you will meet in life today. They are very, very helpful. They don't want to create harm to anyone. Most of the times, these people sacrifice a lot for the sake of other people. Each and every category of people, they have a different way of communicating. The reason as to why I'm asking or teaching you about personality test is because I would request you to go and do a personality test and understand what type of a personality you are, because this will help you not to copy someone else's style because they may be having a different personality than yours. And the fact that you will know your personality, you will be able to cultivate your own style of speaking and communicating based on the temperaments that you have and the things that you are wired or gifted to do and deliver for yourself. So it's very, very important that you learn personality test and learn the type of your personality, because this will help you become original in terms of communicating and public speaking. The powerful choleric, these are doers, they are extroverted, a natural leader, all right? They are proud and they tend to control in all situations, all right? They want to be the best and the top all the times. So this is a powerful choleric. They hate to lose. They love to be the winners all the time, and they speak their minds. So the fact that the powerful choleric speaks their mind, that means they can speak anything, anywhere, anytime. All right. So if you are not a powerful choleric and you see someone speaking anything, anywhere, anytime, and you want to do that, that means you're copying someone else's style to be in a position that is not in line with yourself. And that will bring a certain aspect of conflict in communication. When we look at popular sanguine, they are extroverted, they love fun, they are playful, and they are very much impulsive, and they are entertaining and persuasive. All right? They are enthusiastic and they are expressive, and they tend to be very affectionate. They are receptible, they are open to others, and they quickly connect with other people, and they connect and create relationships very quickly. All right? So if you are a sanguine, or if you are not a sanguine and you're looking at a sanguine who connects with people very easily, and they speak and are fun-loving, and they connect to people very easily, what will happen is that you will have a certain aspect of conflict in terms of copying these particular people on how they speak or communicate, and that will not make you authentic. And you will become authentic when you understand that this is not my personality, or this is my personality, and I have these advantages that I can use to speak, or I have this power that I can use to speak in public and deliver excellent speeches. And when we look at perfect melancholy, they are the thinkers, they are the introverted, and most of the times these people are pessimistic. They are analytical, wise, and quiet. They are detailed and are energized by thinking. They think a lot, all right? And they are artistic. Most of the times they are moody. So if you look at how such people communicate or speak in public, you will realize they are very calm in terms of speaking. They are, they speak with ease and zeal. They are not so energetic most of the time. And if you listen to these particular speakers, and they speak in a sense where they are not in line with, let's say, your personality, or they are in line with your personality, that means there is a sense of advantages that they have that they are not in other personalities. So if you are this type of a speaker, do not feel like you're not effective because you're not energetic or speaking with energy when other people or other personalities are speaking. It just means you're wired differently, and you will not be fair to yourself if you copy someone else's style, because that might not be your personality. So it's very important that you learn your personality and be in line with connection or communication based on the personality that you are wired in. And when we look at the peaceful phlegmatics, these are very, very introverted people. They are pessimistic people. They are relaxed, they are easygoing, and they avoid conflict. So if you put a peaceful phlegmatic in a debate, most of the time, these people will end that debate for the sake of having a relationship or saving a relationship. All right? So if you are a peaceful phlegmatic, don't think that you're not going to be a great speaker just for the fact that you might not be having a certain sense of confidence to speak some things. It just means you are wired differently, and you can still grow and become better in communication, because you will have a sense of identity, and you will know that this is how I am wired, this is how I am, and I can grow and develop myself based on the personality that I have at this current moment, and I will be able to provide great speeches even if I am a peaceful phlegmatic, a perfect melancholy, or whatever personality that I am in. What I'm also trying to say is that these personalities does not mean that one is better than the other. The fact that you have one personality does not mean that you're better than the other. What that means is that there are some things that you have an advantage or disadvantage which you can grow and become better from. All right? So that means you can still grow and develop yourself based on these personalities that you're having. Okay? Great. So we're almost coming to an end, guys. Don't worry. I told you I won't take much of your time. So we want to understand gaining confidence in public speaking. gaining confidence in public speaking. Number one, there are 4 tips of gaining confidence. You will gain your confidence in public speaking when you invest in these 4 things. And I'm going to explain them with a lot of passion because I believe with no shadow of doubt that these tips can help us go a very long way when it comes to public speaking and presentation. Number one, always be authentic. Always be authentic. I will say this quote, you have to be you because no one can do it for you. Let me repeat, you have to be you because no one can do it for you. So even when you're delivering your public speaking presentation and you're delivering speeches, always be authentic. Do not copy anyone else. Be yourself. Be authentic. Speak words that have never been spoken before. Deliver your presentation in a sense that no one has been able to deliver it before, because authenticity breeds excellence, and excellence creates legacy. Let me repeat, authenticity breeds excellence, and excellence breeds legacy. Every time you are authentic, that is the time where you can be able to gain confidence, because the only thing that will be remembered in life today are the things that are original or things that have been done for the first time. And maybe your speech will be the best because you are authentic in terms of content, you are authentic in terms of delivery, you are authentic in terms of the jokes, you are authentic in terms of the stories, and you have authenticity every time you speak. It's very, very important because this will bring and lead you to be more confident as you're delivering your presentation or speeches, because you have at the back of your mind, no one has been able to do this before, and I am the first one to do this particular thing. And the fact that I am the first to deliver this speech in this particular way, that creates or gives me an opportunity to become a precedent in this particular thing. So always appreciate yourself and be authentic. Number 2, have authority. You see, authority here means that you always need to ensure that every time you go to a speaking engagement, you are in charge. Every time you go for a speaking opportunity, it is not about yourself. It's not about the other people. It's about you. And the fact that you're there is an opportunity for you to create value. And most of the time when you have authority, what that means is that you're creating value to your audience and you're focusing on delivering the message to your audience and not on yourself. Have the authority to ensure that you even have the authority on yourself and you're able to control yourself, not to think of the feelings that you'll be having in you or the thoughts that you'll be having in you in terms of you can't do that, you can't do this, you're going to fail, or some of the things that will come along your way. Because most of the times, people fear standing in front of an audience because they have lost authority in terms of controlling their minds, their thoughts, and controlling some of the things that they will be going or flowing into when they are speaking. There are a lot of things that come our way when we are standing in front of an audience to speak. Thoughts like, you can't do this. Thoughts like, come on, finish it, hurry up and finish it and just go back to sit. Thoughts like, come on, man, this is not for you. You know, those thoughts, you need to take authority on them and eliminate them. Because every time you deliver a speech or a presentation, you need to focus on the message and not on yourself. It's an opportunity for you to shine and ensure you are a person of value, influence, and significance, because your audience will gain something from you that you will be delivering every time you deliver a speech. So always ensure you focus on authority. And that authority is about controlling your emotions, controlling yourself, and having the aspect of ensuring that you're focusing on delivering the message and not focusing on what you will be feeling. And let me tell you something. Every great speaker, everyone, this is a secret, everyone who stands on a podium to speak, there is a sense of fear and a sense of, I can do this. But what separates them to become great speakers and others is that they don't focus on that feeling, but they focus on the message. And the moment you focus on the message, that feeling automatically goes away. And what you develop, what you cultivate grows. And the fact that you will be cultivating the feelings, it will be able to grow and it will eliminate you to focus on the message. But if you cultivate the positivity and the aspect of you having the chance to deliver the speech or the message to your audience, that aspect will grow in you and you will become a better speaker. The third thing is that the audience, you need to know who your audience is. Every time you go to speak, please, please, please know who you're going to speak to. Know their age, know their academic background, know their economic status, know their social status, know their political status. Know as much as you can about your audience. You know why? Because this will help you a lot when you're preparing for this particular presentation or the speech, because there are some things you will speak, they might not be in line to the audience. There are things that you will speak that will make you connect to your audience. If I'm speaking to people from Kenya, there are jokes that I will say that they will be able to connect. If I'm speaking to people in UK, there are things or statements that I will make that they can resonate with them. But if I'm speaking to people who are coming from a country like Kenya, and I am thinking they are from UK, I will deliver a Kenyan joke and it will be a joke on me. So you need to understand who your audience is. Every time you speak, know who your audience, know who you are talking to, and know their expectation on that particular event. This will go a very, very long way in terms of helping you prepare for this particular presentation and growing you to become a greater speaker and a greater communicator. The other tip to grow your confidence is the aspect of anticipation. Everything in life and in speaking and in communication, everything that is won in the mind can be won in the physical. If you can win the great speech in your mind, you can win it when you're delivering in the reality. Because the reality is the fact that you're going to speak and you don't have the anticipation that this is going to be a great speech, a great presentation, a great opportunity for me to become of value to my audience. Every time you don't have that, you will actually cultivate what you will be growing in your mind. And if you cultivate positivity and cultivate the aspect of having expectations in terms of delivering a great speech or a great presentation, that is exactly what will happen to you when you are actually delivering your speech or delivering your presentation. So always ensure that you invest in the aspect of anticipation. Anticipate great things coming along your way. Anticipate success when you're delivering this particular speech or presentation. Anticipate you becoming a success in terms of coming out of this particular presentation or speech as a great person. Anticipate you having or receiving a standing ovation from your audience because you've delivered a great presentation or a great speech. When you have those anticipation, there is a sense of energy that we cultivate in yourself, and that energy will play a big role in making you shine and become a great speaker. And that energy will breed and cultivate a lot of confidence to you and make you grow and develop further. Are we together, guys? So we've come to the last, and let me say this, guys, let me say this. I teach public speaking for 4 weeks. So what I've done, I've just compressed what I teach people for 1 hour. So by all means, I cannot capture everything. But if you have questions, please just type them, or you can ask so that I can listen, and then I'll be able to answer them. But please know that there is more to what I've taught in this particular session, and there is more that we can learn and develop. It's because of the aspect of time, that is why I've done this session as it is. But I believe it has been of great value to you. So can I have questions, please?
Wow, that was amazing. I learned so much from it. So before we go into questions, I'm going to unmute you all, and if we can all give a big round of applause to Charles, that would be fantastic. So let's see if this works. Okay, guys. Woo! Yes, Charles. Oh, amazing. Okay, I'll meet you all again. Honestly, really great. You always think, is there more I can learn? And there always is. So yeah, let's go a look and see what questions you guys have for Charles. And like I said, you guys are really lucky today because he normally does this to high-end corporates for like hundreds of dollars. So we're very lucky. All right, thank you, Charles. Charles, is there anyone who inspires you and why as a speaker?
Wow, many people. But one person who inspires me is Barack Obama and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And that is why I put their pictures in the slides. They inspire me because of how accurate they are in terms of structuring their words. They speak with so much fluency and so much excellence in terms of how they structure their words, all right? And that is something that I really, really admire a lot about them. And the aspect of them being people of purpose, they have lived their purpose, makes me want to become, they are a benchmark to my life.
Nice. And Charles, we've got a question from Emily saying she's studying a master's, but sometimes she has to focus on speaking without any preparation or any authority on a subject. What do you do in situations where you're kind of chucked in the deep end?
Come again?
So, Charles, what do you do if you have to speak about a subject you feel you do not have authority on?
Wow, this is the thing. No one was born to have authority over anything in life. That's number one. Number two, the fact that you think or feel you do not have authority on that particular subject brings me to show you that there is an aspect of planning and preparation that you need to go through. All right? Because the aspect of authority always comes when you prepare. And the moment you're able to prepare and have a sense of knowledge and aspect of idea on how to deliver this particular presentation, creates an authority in you. And mind you, authority is wide. You just have to get a certain aspect of that particular topic or content that you can speak about and focus on developing that particular content therein. So it comes to the aspect of preparation. Get to learn about that thing that you want to speak about. Get to understand it fully. Get to people who you can talk to about that particular concept or project. And also get to a level where you want to reach to a point where you have a partner or a coach who can help you practice so that they can be able to ensure you deliver excellence as you're speaking and communicating.
Nice. And Charles, where would be a good first place to start when it comes to public speaking?
Wow, start, if you can, I really recommend, if you can, get a coach. Get a coach if you can, all right? Number two, practice, practice, practice. You can practice on your own with the mirror in front of you. Speak, record yourself and listen to yourself. Are you inspiring if you listen to yourself? Are you motivating if you're listening to yourself? Are you effective if you're listening to yourself? If you can be able to get to that level, then I will really, really recommend that. The other thing I will also recommend, there are a lot of books about public speaking which you can go and read and develop further and develop. And there are a lot of online materials right now that many people can go through. And also I will tell them to come to Divergent Thinking, because Divergent Thinking has partnered with us where we can coach you guys on public speaking.
Yeah, nice little plug there. So Charles, we're almost done, but just a few last questions. Do you do any physical exercises before you're about to talk? And that was asked by Kate.
First of all, physical exercise, I believe, should be paramount and very, very important to an ordinary human being normally. But I wouldn't recommend you to do any physical exercise an hour or two before the speech, because you'll be, and that won't be good for you, unless you're going to speak for some few minutes after a race or a certain competition. But I think physical exercise should be done on a regular basis, not to be done when you're going to deliver a speech or a presentation.
Nice. And would that also count like mentally preparing?
Yes. Physical exercise assists in the mentality aspect. So if you develop yourself physically, it creates the mentality aspect to grow as well. So that is something that I recommend to do on a regular basis, not when you want to deliver a presentation or a speech.
Nice. And we got a good question from Olivia here. How do you recommend writing notes? I often forget things when I'm in a stressful situation, but if I write too much down, I never look up.
Interesting. If it works that way, well and good. But this is what I will also recommend. What I teach my clients is something called extemporaneous speaking. All right? What I teach my clients is something called extemporaneous speaking. And extemporaneous speaking means speaking from the heart without reading from anywhere. And this is very much possible. And this is the thing. If you want to speak from the heart without reading from anywhere, it doesn't mean you cannot go with a sense of a small notebook to have a sense of reference. What that means, you can also go and speak and experience extemporaneous speaking by just having a small notebook or piece of paper where you have written down the points or the flow of what you will speak or say. For example, I will start with the introduction, say a certain joke or story, get to the content of my speech by going to the body and deliver 3 points on that particular topic and come to my conclusion. So you have it structured in that manner, whereby after the end of the speech, when you have these structures, you have the structures. It doesn't mean you have read everything, but you just know this is what I will talk about. This is what I will talk about. And that also creates your mind to be very sharp and be able to remember some of the things that you're about to speak. And this will make you become a great speaker and effective in that particular speech or presentation.
Nice stuff. Well, right, we have so many amazing questions, but obviously time is of the essence. So, Charles, could you just do the next slide so we can share everyone your details? Guys, I'm sure myself or Charles would be more than happy for you to get in contact and ask questions. For all upcoming workshops and to get involved, just go to divergentthinking.uk or just send us an email at admin@divergentthinking.uk. And Charles, as always, is available at charles. How do you pronounce your surname?
Msilanga.
Msilanga at ppdcafrica.com. And also our social medias are there. So please do get in touch. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. And Charles, could you end your screen share right now so we can just see everyone as an audience one last time?
Yeah, sure, man.
So guys, what I would love is that if you could all show your video, and as a big appreciation to Charles, just give a good old wave or a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Yeah, man. Beautiful. What a lovely group today. It's been an absolute pleasure and a massive, massive thank you to Charles.
Yeah, guys, let's keep in touch. I see a lot of questions here. Please send me an email and let's keep in touch. I will be able to provide a lot of support to everyone if possible. Just send me the email, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, I've unmuted everyone now, so it's chaos. So feel free to go, guys, and I will send you the slides and video shortly.
Thank you very much. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Charles. You're a legend. Have a good day.
Oh, thank you, Terry. You too.